Yo, I fucking hate Spectrum for real, bro. Spectrum fucking. I'm literally paying $130 a month for a piece of shit fucking service. Unfucking believable. I'll be right back. Spectrum is horrible, bro. You've been dealing with shit internet for like 4 weeks and that was good. Are you talking about yourself or are you talking about my shit? Reem, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? Let's see, I'm gonna increase the bit rate little by little to see where it goes. And I'll see what's good. Alright, I think this is good. Fuck it. Motherfuckers wanted me to react to this shit. I'm like, fuck it. I'll go live. Whatever. I'll go ahead and keep this shit up since motherfuckers wanted me to react to this. Topics. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Outside of shitting on this motherfucker, I don't have any other plans to do on, regardless of my platforms. As sad as that shit might sound, but fuck, am I gonna speak on shit that's already been spoken about? Like, doesn't make sense. It's corny. All right, let's get this shit started, bro. It looks like I'm not dropping frames anymore. I did have to lower the quality, but fuck it. You know, like, hold on. Let me go ahead and go a little bit higher. I'm gonna go a little bit higher, see if it still does it. I'll put that shit to 5. All right, I'll be right back. You know what? Still fucking doing it, bro. Unbelievable. Shit's still laggy, bro. Colombia's politics. You guys are like really, really racist, bro. Crazy. Alright, let's see. Alright, this should be good now. Alright, finally, man. Let's get this shit started. Hold on. Alright.
About me? What about my free will? What type of free will do men have? Like, it's unethical. And a lot of chicks be using kids as weapons. I've had plenty of homies with kids and their lives are miserable because chicks use kids as weapons. How much nut does it take? Probably a microscopic amount.
So as you have seen,
bro, why is it? What the fuck is up with that shit, man?
So, let me ask you guys a question. How many of us in our life with intentions of having a child? Yeah, I've never like, damn, I want to create a baby with this bitch. Oh, with some music in the background.
I'd be laughing when he be saying that, because each time you having sex with a female, regardless if you got a condom on or not, you're always taking a chance to have a baby. It's always like, bro, if shit comes to the fan and you and that chick has a baby and she decides to keep it, that's 100% your fucking responsibility, bro. I never understood that logic of just fucking multiple girls and then just leaving them to be fucking leaving those kids to be fatherless and shit like that. That's like that is man-child, irresponsible, like crazy.
I'm not trying to smash to get you pregnant. So yes, I believe in ABs. I also think that there should be a new law that says, let's just say if we smash and you get pregnant, there should be a new law that says if we don't collectively agree that we both want this child, then I should sign over my rights and legally you can't do anything. Like, that's how I feel like it should be. Like, I think it's lame as that you could smash a bitch for fun, right? And she says, I'm pregnant. You're like, all right, well, what if
you do realize that sex, like the whole creation of sex is to make babies. Like, I don't understand that shit. That whole fucking for pleasure, yeah, it's good, but it's like the whole reason why we've been made to literally have sex is to literally create babies. Like, motherfucker is just
like, I'm not ready to be a
such
father.
a worldly way of thinking
like,
about
well,
things.
I'm ready to be a mother. Child support coming. Like, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, I literally smashed you for sex. Now I gotta suffer because because we just banged for recreational purposes. That shit is ass backwards. That shit is so ass backwards to me. That's why I said the only way I would give my pops a pass if I knew him and my moms was smashing and I just like came out of a oops baby type shit and they weren't married in a relationship, I'd give them a pass.
That's
for
wild
sure.
as hell to be saying, bro. Holy fucking
For sure,
shit.
I'd give them a pass.
That is some wild ass shit to be saying, man.
Because I know you was just fucking like, you know, like just the same way I'm having sex for recreational purposes. So I get it that you had sex for recreational purposes and I was a byproduct. I think that shit's like ass backwards. Like, I'm not fucking nobody. Like, men, most of us don't fuck to procreate. So it's like, why is it a one-sided thing?
Low tier God is a deadbeat father. Full stop. There is no subtle nuance to this statement. There is nothing else to understand. I'm not speaking in rhythm, rhyme, limerick, or anything of the like. Low tier God is a deadbeat father, full stop. Of all of the controversies that have surrounded Low Tier God's online presence for over a decade now, I personally believe that this is quite honestly the worst. Not only because of the nature of what this surrounds, but more because of the real life ramifications of Low Tier God being a deadbeat father. Everything he said to Viscant, everything he said to Brolyleg, everything he said to Perfect Legend, everything he said to every member of the FGC or the greater streaming community pales in comparison to the fact that Dale Wilson has a child out in the world that he has willfully abandoned. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves.
The sad part about it is like motherfuckers is still gonna fuck with them. That's the sad part about it, bro. Like, the sad part about it is that your whole being can be literally a piece of shit, but the fact that you're a piece of shit in today's day and age, especially in like streaming and shit like that, people will fuck with you, bro. Like, they like that shit. They like ignorance, they like degeneracy, they like all that.
Let's take a look at how we got here.
Most of us know that for years now, Dale has openly talked about his immense disgust at the mere thought of having daughters, and many great videos have compiled his thoughts on the matter, which you should definitely watch if you haven't seen them, because they add a whole other layer to what you're about to see. But just in case you haven't, here is but one quick example.
Here's what's gonna happen. Me and my daughter, we gonna be straight. Soon as I find out she lose the V, I don't got nothing else to say to you. Honestly though, let me ask you niggas a question. Honestly, what more would I do? What more would I need to say to my daughter if she starts sucking on dicks and fucking? Like, what kind of relationship we gonna have? You already went out there and explored men. What else do we need to speak on? If she like,
bro, your whole MO when you're a father and you got a daughter is to literally make sure that her judgment skills when it comes to men is perfect. That she gets the right guy to take care of her, you know what I'm saying, and be the right mother to her children and shit like that. And like,
girls,
this guy does not make sense, man.
But for me to just continuously have a continuous relationship with my daughter,
Just like it's like he wants to be sexually involved with his daughter or some shit, because that's like the only weird, like, why would you fucking think that weird ass shit about your daughter getting sucking dick and shit like that? What, you want to do that, bro? Like that's the only explanation I have, man. Like, why would you think it about your daughter in such a sexual way? Like, that's weird.
When she's already sucking on other men's cocks and getting back shotted, like, we don't have nothing else to talk about. The relationship at that point is weird from that point on. Like, you're no longer a little girl to me. You're a woman out there getting banged, back shotted, sucking, fucking taking nuts, busting on.
It's like, bro, you do realize that, like, women, they bring life to this world, right? Like, so fuck it. The fact that a daughter had sex, shit, man, they can't have sex. Like, imagine the world if, like, girls would not reproduce and shit like that. Imagine a world if there's literally no children. Like, bro, like, make fucking sense, man.
On nuts, squirting all over dicks. Like, just the thought of, like, I couldn't rock with my daughter no more just off the thought and the strength of her just fornicating it in itself.
It's because low key he feels jealous. I think that's what it is. I think if he was to get a daughter, I mean, he has one already, 10 years, but I think in his mind, if he was to have a daughter, he'd want her daughter to be attractive so he can have sexual feelings towards her.
Like, I don't want to be like, let's just say I have a daughter and she comes over and she had a kid. Like, I got to look at a pregnant daughter. I don't see how dads process that shit. I really don't. Because me, like, I could be a 60-year-old man, right? And have like a 30-year-old daughter. And she comes over pregnant or with her kids. I'm going to feel weird because somebody laid you down and f***ed you when you were my daughter at a point in time and I got to sit over and play grandpa. Like, nah, I'm cool.
And keep in mind, there's at least 20 other clips just like this one that are just as bad, if not worse. If you have seen the leaked LTG credit report, you may have noticed a few key tidbits of information. The first thing was the Department of Child Support collection, obviously, which is dated August 2023 on the report. Then if you browse to the part that appears...
The thing is this, it's extremely dangerous that a motherfucker like this got a platform to speak his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's extremely dangerous because there's literally kids that haven't experienced life literally listening to this dude, bro.
To be all the inquiries, or pulls as they're known in the business. Most are the typical things you would see on any credit report. Credit cards, auto dealers, banks. But there is one unique thing, a name. And the date for this inquiry is coincidentally also in August 2023. Now, if you Google this name, you will find a law firm located in Southern California, about an hour's drive from where LTG lives. If you go to the firm's website, it states they specialize in two main areas of law: estate planning and judgment enforcement. Estate planning is basically wills, living trusts, things like that. Basically grown-up shit that LTG would never even think to do. Judgment enforcement is when you take someone to court and you win a judgment against them, but the other party doesn't pay, so you hire a law firm to get involved, and they can do things like garnish the other person's bank account or income, put a lien on their assets, or other extreme measures, and basically, the point is that they are forced to pay you, one way or the other. So you might see a loose story starting to come together here. Just based off this information alone, it would appear that in August 2023, his child support obligations went into collections, and also in August 2023, a law firm intervened in the matter to try enforcing a judgment against him. So as I was putting this all together, I had the thought, these things all seem to be happening around August of 2023, so what was Dale doing around that time on stream? What kind of things was he talking about? What was his general mood like? Was there any random things he just started talking about without any
Yo, this part of the video is crazy because this shit basically confirms everything. Like,
seeming explanation for
literally
it?
just confirms everything.
Many of us know that Dale has a terrible poker face, and when something is bothering him, it will be written all over his face. Not only that, but he has to talk about it. So I set out to find if there were any topics or things he was venting about on stream around that time, or similarly, if there is anything he has been focused on since. The first clip I found was what you just saw at the beginning of this video. Coincidentally, the date of this clip is August 21st, just 2 days before the credit inquiry from the law firm hits his credit report. Just a short, random rant about how unfair it is that you could get a girl pregnant and then be forced into paying child support, even if you don't want to keep the child. This topic was brought up suddenly and out of nowhere, and he finished the rant as abruptly as he brought it up, so I sensed there must be something to this, and kept searching. As you may have already guessed, this would end up being just the tip of the iceberg.
All right, Anthony Edwards is going viral for allegedly paying a woman 100 bands to get an abortion. Man, you can't force a kid on the world. I have an appointment on that 27. Hell no, I can't do this. So what now? What a great response. Get an abortion.
Hold on 1 second, bro. You gotta love it to where motherfuckers just be fucking for pleasure. And the answer that these motherfuckers got is just get an abortion if a chick gets pregnant. Bro, if you're having sex, regardless of, I said this shit already, but if you're having sex, if you got a condom, you got protection, whatever. If that chick gets pregnant, it's on you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I've had an abortion with my son around 2 years ago, and I regret it every day. Man, you can't force a kid in the world. And you know I'm gonna give my insights after this shit. Being cool to you is just gonna get an abortion by myself, and you're not gonna do shit about it, just going on about your day. That's being cool to you. Obviously, you've been through this before, just by your reaction. I'll send you the money to help you out. I didn't ask for it, but okay. Like, why would I refuse bands? So you just don't want a baby? Is that why you're saying this? Because I've been cool with you. I don't want kids. Let's handle this like grown-ups. Okay. I'm not trying to force you to be a dad to a baby.
And that whole abortion shit, bro, like you're essentially murdering somebody. I don't give a fuck what stage in life, if whether they're sentient or not. You're basically reversing. Let me shut up.
You don't want. I just don't like abortions. That's like, that doesn't get me wrong. Like, if you really don't want to do this, it's just fine. I won't. In other words, like, damn, I just wanted to have a bag for 18 years, but I like the fact that, and look, there's another one where she was like hounding him for the money, and he had his attorney send her 100 bands. Here's my thing about this situation. I don't like the fact that you're using my bust. So I should have 50% of the say if you bring a kid in the world I clearly don't want. Why would you have a spiteful baby that I'm never gonna fuck with on that kind of level? Like, this is the thing too. This is why I would let my dad. I would easily let my dad pass if he didn't marry my mom. I would have let him slide. That's where you fucked up, nigga. If you was just fucking, I'd have been like, okay, cool. Like, you was just getting pussy, and then you happen to concede, like you happen to slip some in, and boom, I'm here. But I don't like the fact that most of us men, 99.9% of the time, we're fucking for pleasure. Stories like this, if you knew I was fucking you for pleasure, why would you forcefully try to have a kid? And a lot of these chicks, they would probably, we've seen so many stories where they forcefully have a kid. I don't want the kid. I don't want nothing to do with you. So why would I want to forcefully take care of a kid I don't want with a bitch I was just banging for sex? If I don't like you and it was just some sex session, what makes you think I wanted to procreate with your ass in the first place? It's just crazy how, like, I see so many of these things where it's just men, we don't have the choice. So you're using my cum, you're using my sperm to...
You chose to go inside of her, you fucking irresponsible motherfucker. You've literally chosen to go inside of her and to bust and to nut, whatever the fuck you guys want to call it. Like how the fuck are you not gonna account for that shit? Like a action has a reaction. Like if you do something, there's a possibility that the kid will be born, bro. Like, and the saddest part, bro, is like, all right, let's say if it was accident, right? Let's say you didn't mean to have that kid, bro. You still gotta show love to that fucking kid, bro. It's literally a reflection of yourself. Like that's the most coldest shit ever, to just be fucking and having kids in multiple areas and not even showing love, not even being there for the fucking child. That in itself is literally a reflection of this whole, like, this dude's whole fucking character, bro.
To fertilize your egg, but I don't have none of the choice on what you do with the kid, and I gotta pay. This man didn't want a kid with this chick so bad he gave her $100,000. That should be a wake-up call. That it should be a 50-50. It should be a 50-50 decision. This is how shit should work. When two people fuck, which we're doing for pleasure in the first place, and if a chick happens to get pregnant, because a lot of these chicks will be like, please bust in me, please. It just feels better. And like how warm it is inside of my pussy. The way I think it's
another thing is who talks like that. Like another thing is who honestly talks like that. Like if you got a lot of sexual experience, you gotta be that's some high school shit, bro. Like am I gonna really copy how a girl sounds when a dude nuts in her? Like what? But this is the shit though. Like the internet creates motherfuckers like this. The internet enables dudes like this. Dudes that got no fucking skills outside of this shit literally enable these dudes to just say and do whatever the fuck they want with no fucking repercussions.
Should work. I think it should work like this. The law should be, we're clearly fucking for recreational purposes. You want to bust, I want to bust, we're fucking. I didn't want a kid with you in the first fucking place. Most of us don't fuck for kids. So guys, if there's anybody out here that's mad at your dad, he never married your mom, he was fucking for sex. So you really don't have the right to be mad at your dad if he never married your fucking mom in the first place, because your mom probably had the kid, your mom probably had you without his motherfucking permission. So honestly, you shouldn't even be mad at the nigga. No, you're dumb because you're a non-sub. You're banned, bruh. Were you mad because you never met your pops? Look, anyways, I almost called this nigga something back.
This the same motherfucker that bitches about how his pops wasn't there for him, but he's projecting that same shit towards somebody else. You guys see that? As I told you guys before, everything this motherfucker be saying to his chat is a reflection of himself. Everything. It's basically projection. Like this guy exposed, like whenever he tries to roast somebody, bro, he's roasting himself, basically.
I just had to keep my cool since I'm the lit nigga. You're banned. Anyways, all my guys in here, if your dad never married your mom and he was never around, you can't even get mad at the nigga. Because clearly he didn't want to, clearly he was fucking for sex. So why you got this aggression? If your dad didn't marry your fucking mom, you don't.
Bro, there's nothing masculine or there's nothing that is good of just fucking multiple women and having like children that don't even know that you exist. Like there's nothing cool about that shit, bro.
Don't have a right to be mad at him because he probably didn't want your ass in the first place. He was fucking for sex, backshotting, creamy backshotting your mom and all that type of shit. She happened to say, fuck it, I'm gonna keep the kid anyway, you're here. You're a product of sex. Most of us are just a product of accidental bust-ins. If we didn't marry you, we didn't want the motherfucking kid. Most of these dudes be beefing with these, like, what's Von Miller? You guys ever hear about the story with Von Miller? Yeah, but anyways, back to what I was.
The thing that is so fucking insane is that the shit that he likes to call other people, that's exactly him. When he's telling other people that they're broke, he's the one that's in 121K in debt. When he tells that other people are like useless and shit like that, that's him, bro. Like,
I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make is this.
That's just giving into pleasure. Hold on. That's just giving into pleasure without accounting for the potential responsibility. People pleasure chase. In today's day and age, people just want pleasure, whether it be in food, whether it be in drugs, whether it be in porn, whether it be in sex. Motherfuckers just want instant pleasure. They want instant validation. That's why I look at social media, bro. Look at the shit that's going on Twitter and on Instagram and all that shit. Motherfuckers just pleasure chase, bro.
a female keeping a kid should not be 100% sole her decision.
And that shit makes us weaker. 100%. That shit makes us weaker as a whole fucking society, bro.
Because it was my sperm that helped you incubate this kid. So if we can't come collectively and make a decision together, if you're like, I don't want the kid, she's like, well, I want it. I think that it should be, I think that the case should be brought in front of a judge, and you guys should both be able to explain your case on why you think it's not really a good idea to bring a kid in the world for multiple years that's going to cost money, that's going to ruin both of your lives. Now,
bro, you've taken the decision to have sex. You've taken the decision to come inside of her. Like what, bro? Like, I don't understand that shit.
You guys are going to hate each other because if a chick, put it like this, let's just say this metaphorically speaking. If I was just fucking some chick, right? And a little bit of my matrix juice slipped in. I know I pulled out, but a little bit of my matrix juice slipped in. I had no intentions of fucking with this chick in the long haul. It was just for some head and sex. And you happen to get pregnant. And you tell me you're going to keep the kid. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen?
Imagine how cold-hearted you got to be to where just for a couple seconds of fun, you're going to murder a child. Just because you wanted those couple seconds of fun, you're going to murder a child because of it. Think about how cold-hearted and selfish you got to be, bro, to have that type of mindset.
You think I'm going to be overjoyed if you're pregnant? I'm going to be like, okay, let's get the AB. No, I'm going to keep it. Okay, so she decides to keep it. We arguing this and that. She decides to keep it. Do you honestly think I'm ever going to fuck with that kid, authentically love it, or be in its life at all? No, I'm going to just pay my dues and go on about my life. You could slide me on that that CS. You could slide me on that CS. I don't want nothing to do with that child. Because you had the kid against my will. So why the fuck would I have unconditional love for something that I didn't want? I said CP like child support. Get it? Y'all niggas over every...
I mean, you did leak CP. I mean, in that one stream, in that SSD card that you had. You did, you basically did that.
Talking about make a mistake, y'all niggas say some dumb shit any fucking ways. I put the wrong abbreviation, excuse me. Back to the point that I was making. If I don't like you and I was fucking and I didn't want to agree to have a kid with you, why would you forcefully have a kid anyway? Why is it your decision to keep something that I'm half of that I helped create? That's my issue. I think it's ass.
All right, it's not confirmed. It's alleged, but he was doing like he was looking at an SD card that was like from his high school days and shit like that, and the dude has some naked ass chick in there, which honestly looked underage. But it's all speculation. I'm just poking fun at it.
Backwards for men. Like clearly I for fun. Yeah, this is the Anthony Edwards shit. Clearly I for fun. I was backshotting you. I was getting sucked up. I didn't want no fucking kid by you. If the kid ends up being LeBron James, I don't give a fuck. Maybe wear a condom. What if it rips and then I'm stroking, I look down, the shit's popped. Now you got nut in you, now you're keeping it. They usually don't rip. Shit, if you ain't got a BBC, I guess you wouldn't know. BBCs, we usually could rip condoms. Why would I get a vasectomy? My sperm is for kids that I actually would want. Not for kids that I'm fucking a bitch for procreational purposes, for sex.
He's literally glorifying being a deadbeat. 100% he is, bro. Like,
and then she was to keep my seed. I don't want nothing to do with the kid. Honestly, that's my shit. I'll pay what I need to pay. If I was in these niggas' position, a chick forcefully at the kid, I'll pay what I need to pay, but I want no ties to the child. That's not my kid. It was against my will. I want no parts.
Against your will. The minute that you decide to have sex with somebody and you going inside her, regardless of having a condom or not, you already took that fucking decision. This is the most, like, holy fucking hell, bro.
I don't blame Anthony Anderson for this shit. Honestly, what's his name again? Anthony what? Edwards. My bad. I don't blame Anthony Edwards for this shit. I don't think there's nothing wrong with what he said. I think he was a little bit blunt when he said get an abortion. He could have abbreviated and said, could you just at least get an AB? I'm not a pastor, nigga. You're banned. Pastor is banned, bitch. I would have just said it something slick. I would have went, can you get an AB? With an LOL. She don't, what's an AB? I'd have been like, I mean, come on, man. You know we was just fucking for recreational purposes.
The fact that there's people that's fucking around with something so sacred as to having a baby, the whole process of having a baby, and something so sacred to where they just treat that shit like it's nothing. Like, nah, I don't want that kid. Yeah, just have an abortion. Fuck it. You know, that is like the most selfish, conniving, cold-hearted shit ever, bro.
I'm
Like,
not in love with you. You're not in love with me. We're not in a relationship. We were clearly just fucking. Why would we bring a child into this environment? That sounds like a logical way to do it. And just like he said, man, you can't force a kid in this world, which is true. But chicks like to do that. You can't force a kid in this world. Anyways, this situation, like I said, a lot of people will be sensitive about it, but I do think that conceiving a kid should be a 50-50 party. If the two parties cannot come together with a logical decision, it should go in front of a judge.
If they can't come together for a logical decision, bro, like, you shouldn't have had sex to begin with. What? I don't understand that shit.
And both people should explain why they want to keep it or why this won't work. You're broke as why are we having this kid? Imagine it's two broke people that fucked. The guy was just having sex. She magically gets pregnant. He clearly didn't bust in he like a little bit of nut slipped in, some pre-cum or something like that. Why would you bring a kid into the world when you're both broke? You're going to make the shit harder on the kid growing up. He can't get toys. She can't get toys.
I have a feeling that this shit that's going on with Dale right now, with this information being exposed, I have a feeling that essentially, I don't know if I'm going to make sense, but the shit that's going on IRL in his life, you guys know how he likes to keep the shit separate to where he streams. He has a whole different world when he's streaming, but IRL is a completely different world, a part of his. I have a feeling that the IRL shit is going to come onto the stream, man. I don't think you can avoid all this for long, bro. I'm going to be honest with you.
Boys.
Eventually something's going to happen.
Urban ghetto school. Getting broke bullshit education. Growing up in a fucking urban fucked up ass area. I don't understand why parents do that. Good games, broski. Thank you for the 5 months. Your kid got to grow up in a motherfucking apartment. You don't got the time to spend with your kid because
it is too specific. You guys notice how he's passionate about that shit? I heard that he went on this rant for like an hour, bro. So think about that. Like why the fuck would you go on a rant about this shit so passionately?
You got to work two jobs.
Because you literally going through this also.
To survive. I don't understand why people bring kids into the world forcefully. Most of the men that have kids don't want them. We were fucking for recreational purposes. Anthony was fucking for recreational purposes. Luckily, he found a chick that has some sense in her to not fuck over her life and his life for having a kid that has no love involved. There's no love while we made that kid. There's no love. I just don't understand. I don't understand the laws with that shit. Like I said, if my dad never married my motherfucking
Another thing, bro, is having sex with and there's no love involved. Like, bro, what's the point? Dude, that is like some pure, like, lustful. I don't even consider that shit as lust. That shit is just like you hate yourself. Why the fuck would you have sex with a chick you don't feel attracted or you love or you have some sort of fucking connection? And it's not just this motherfucker. A lot of people be doing that shit.
I could give two flying. I have no animosity now, but I would give him a pass. Honestly, you would get a cold pass from me if he never married my mom. You get a pass for fucking, and I'm just here because clearly that was the situation. But he married my mom, so clearly the nigga wasn't ready for a kid when he had me. But he fucked up when he married her. You know what I mean? Maybe people should stop fucking recreationally. That's one thing too. That's another thing, guys. Don't just smash anything. Why does marrying it ruin it? He didn't plan either way. You
know, it's so funny with him saying, don't just smash anything, but this guy loves to brag. He loves to say that he fucked thousands of women. Like, what? Like, which one is it? Like,
because
you can only lie so much, bro.
Ties. You was in a locked relationship contract, so that's different. But any guy in here that's mad at your dad and he didn't marry your mom, technically you ain't got a reason to be mad at him because clearly the nigga wasn't trying to have you in the first place. It was just sex. Your mom got pregnant. You're here. Why you got animosity for? Did I ever get a girl pregnant? There was one ex-girlfriend I got pregnant like hella years ago. It was, oh my God, I dodged a bullet with this ball raw get. I was in a relationship with this chick. Bro, This chick was so fucking violent. She was like 6'1", 6'2". Bro, when I tell you, like, everything about that relationship, I felt obligated. And I didn't even have shit at that time. I was like 20. Nah, bro, this was so long ago, man. This was like hella Christmases ago and shit. This might have been like Christmas 2018 type shit. But yeah, I dodged a bullet. So that's why I'm real sensitive on these type of topics where chicks try to keep kids that niggas don't want. Because I almost had a kid I didn't want with a ball raw get.
She was based in her takes.
Bro, child support ain't nothing.
I'll take
for
a look
these
at that.
niggas. The only thing that would suck if I was a rich man and a bitch was getting child support off me, I would just be pissed the fact that this bitch is just eating off a life that I worked for. Or
You literally made a decision to literally fuck her. You've made a decision to potentially have a kid with her. Like, this dude just doesn't want to accept responsibility on all levels, man.
it doesn't even matter if I was rich. I'd be mad that any bitch that could get child support off of a nigga that just from having a kid, you're just eating off a life I worked for. You don't deserve that shit. Go get a fucking career, bitch. Nah, not 21,
Speak
18.
for yourself, man.
You say you think what went up? What you talking about? Oh, it went up to 21? Ain't no way. Why the fuck would you need to pay for a kid for 21 years? Fuck you. You was a product of sex anyway, 9 times out of 10. That's crazy how like society really got kids as a transaction. Like, it's supposed to be a joyful thing. You telling me I gotta pay for something that...
Holy fucking shit, bro. It's supposed to be a joyful thing. So you just fuck and just, you know, have kids, have abortions. Fuck it, you know, let's just, man, fuck it. We should just have sex with a bunch of girls and just, you know, have them all kill their fetuses and shit like that, you know? Fuck it. Free fall. That is the most dumbest thing you can possibly say, bro.
It was a product of casual sex. Why is a child a transaction? Especially, like I said, if a nigga doesn't agree to have a kid, you shouldn't be obligated to pay child support. The fucking goddamn the government should pay for that shit. That shit is 21 now? That's crazy, bro.
The government should pay for it. So the government should pay for the mistake that you've had.
You gotta pay for a kid for an extra 4 years over something 9 times out of 10.
Napalm, I'm not showing anything regarding the daughter or anything like that, bro. I'm not doing that shit on stream. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, there's no way I could fuck with a kid I didn't agree to have. There's just no way I could. There's no way I could fuck with it. If I gotta pay for something that was had against my will, I ain't fucking with you. I'll just pay for it and fuck you. But as far as like,
I'll just pay for it and fuck you. That's what this dude really said, bro. Let me go replay that shit, man.
There's no way I could fuck with it. If I gotta pay for something that was had against my will, I ain't fucking with you. I'll just pay for it and fuck you.
You know what's sad, bro? Like, even behind this strength, even off this strength, people will still literally support him. They don't give a fuck about this shit, bro. They like this type of shit. That's the sad part about it.
But as far as like a relationship or any of that type of shit, don't ever try to visit me. Oh, you know that you were my dad. Like, why weren't you there? I'd be like, what the fuck you talking about? I paid for you for all these years. So why the hell would I fuck with a kid I gotta pay for? Get the fuck out of my face. Are you serious, Dad? Or Dad, are you serious? What the fuck you talking about? I didn't agree to have your motherfucking ass. Nigga, your mom got a bag off you for fucking 18 years. Did you think that the shit was gonna be kumbaya? Like, nigga, get the fuck off my doorstep. I did not agree that you were a product of casual sex, my nigga. And I would have had the tool tucked just in case. Is there an issue? Wait, hold on, you're pulling a gun on me? Absolutely, bro. Get the fuck off my doorstep. I did not agree.
Unbelievable, bro. And this dude almost 40 doing this shit, man. This dude literally almost 40. Creating scenarios to where he threatens his daughter or kid and shit like that. With a gun.
Agree to have you. If it's a girl, I'm like, did I stutter? Get off the doorstep. You are not one of my authentic children. Get out of here. Your debt, my debt has been paid. Locked. The fuck out of here, bro.
And no one's gonna give a fuck about this shit, bro. That's the sad part about it. Like, the dude literally said that, and he has a 10-year-old daughter, but still people won't give a fuck.
Obligation shit is lame. Like, if I paid already, I don't want to fuck with you. That's just my thing. If I paid, bro, if a chick randomly had a kid by me and I paid for all these years, there's no way we can have a relationship. Not a 1% chance. Cause I didn't agree to have you. So why in the fuck would I need to fuck with you? I paid. My debt is paid. My society to debt has been paid.
Society to debt has been paid.
Kids with a bitch I actually gave a.
This motherfucker really says society to debt has been paid. Think you meant to word that debt to society.
About and focus on those, but with a random ass child that I didn't agree to have and I paid for, that's been paid. Holler. That's what I'm saying. If she wanted you to be an active father, she wouldn't have filed for child support in the first place. Because let's be real here. Most of these chicks that file on these niggas that I feel sorry for, most of these chicks that file, the nigga actually will probably be like, yo, if you just don't file the paperwork, I'll actually work with you. I'll help you out. Some of these chicks be so devious from the stories that I've heard from niggas. Some of these chicks be so devious, they file anyway and want you to be a father at the same time. Like, what you mean? I gave you a bag. That's my, like, how, so hold on. So you want me to pick the nigga up or pick the chick up from basketball practice and pay you? Nope.
Holy fucking shit. This dude definitely doesn't love himself, bro. He does not love himself. To be saying some shit like that, you have to not love yourself.
Should have thought about that. You chose option B. I told you option A. Your mom did that shit to your pops?
Timu, that's gonna happen regardless. I think it's already happened, bro. That shit's gonna happen regardless, sadly.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. Yo, you're Jacob. Shut up for the 6 months.
Dance cloak time.
Nigga,
Hold on 1 second. Yo, let me, Sharif, big ups to you, bro. Hey, yo, big ups to you. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that shit, man. Hold on. Sharif, big ups. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot that shit, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I have that shit as a thumbnail. Hold on 1 second. I got you, bro. Let's see. All right. Good shit, Ben.
Want nothing to do with you. I'll pay my debt, but I ain't fucking with you at all. That's not a rogue mentality. So you're telling me that you would pay for a kid out of obligation and with it against your will? Tell me in what realm does that sound ethical? Splurge 909, shout out for the 12 months. What realm does that sound logical and fair to you as a man? It's not about it being the kid's fault. So you're telling me if a chick had a kid against your will when you weren't ready and slid you on child support, you're gonna pay out of obligation and rock with the kid out of obligation when you never even liked the bitch for real? That's crazy. I wouldn't do that. I'm straight, bro. I'll pay, but I ain't fucking with you. If I didn't agree to have the kid, there's no love connection. There's no.
So it's like, why the fuck are you having sex if you don't find a chick you don't like the chick or anything like that? Like, I don't understand that shit. It's like the dude is like low key. You want to know what it is? The dude is just like low key fucking girls to alleviate his pain or some shit. Like he's just fucking the shit out of girls because of his depression or some shit, man. Because to really put yourself in a position to possibly having a kid just for a little bit of pleasure literally shows me that you're going through some crazy shit in life, man.
No bond, so I can't with you. Bro, put on a condom. It's not even about that. What if the shit busted and you accidentally popped the condom and the nut slid in? Let's not act like accidents don't happen before. Some chicks probably don't even want to pop a plan B. I just think that it's foul, like, that some dudes out there just really will smash chicks for fun and just be locked in. Like, you knew good and well I wasn't trying to procreate with your fucking ass. It was only a back shot session. Matter of fact, you hit me up for cock. We were stroking. The Magnum XL or the Magnum busted.
When there's literally DMs of him asking other chicks for ass pics. When there's literally screenshots of this motherfucker's of this dude giving money to OnlyFans chicks and stuff like that on Twitch. Like, you really expect me to believe these chicks are just going to your DMs asking for it, bro? Like, get your thirsty ass out of here, man.
Or the Durex or whatever you motherfuckers rock. You got pregnant. You told me that you were pregnant. You found out. I said, well, let's go ahead and, you know, we're clearly not in love. We're not in a relationship. Let's do the ethical thing. You said no.
I will say this shit, man. Fucking multiple girls while you're living in a fucking project housing complex with fake grass. That is crazy. That is fucking absurd, bro. Yo, his priorities is all fucked up, man. No, what the fuck is gonna happen if you don't got Twitch anymore, bro? Like, what's gonna happen to your life? Like, what's gonna happen to you? Like, what's gonna happen if you don't got your Twitch anymore, man? Please explain that shit to me. You're just gonna be.
I said, all right, cool, whatever. This is your body. You know what? And I'm putting you on child support. Wait, what do you mean? Like, well, there's ways we could work this out. Nope. Child support, and you're gonna have to visit. Yeah, you got me fucked up. Nah. I don't think that's fair to the man. What part of that sounds fair to a man? I have one pregnancy scare story. And oh man, that shit would have ruined my fucking life. Oh man, I was with this Balrog bitch. Oh my God. It was like when it was the last relationship I was in with a black chick. Man, my life would have been, I would have been screwed. I would not have been low tier God.
You know, having a kid, that shit legit matures you in such a fast way, bro. I think that's the reason why he didn't want to have one, because he doesn't want to mature.
Everything happens for a reason. I would have been some fucking depressed father with a chick that I hated. I would have hated life. Just thinking about it disgusts me. It just sucks that as a man in society, you don't have a say-so when you're literally just fucking somebody for casual sex. That's the only thing that sucks. Like, we don't really have a say-so for shit. There should be a rule that says if two people cannot agree of, let's just say,
then don't have sex to begin with. Then don't fuck to begin with. Have some fucking self-control in your life and choose not to have sex.
it is you. Let's just say you fuck a chick, right? She finds out she's pregnant. She wants to keep it. You guys can't come up with an agreement on what should happen. You should be able to sign a piece of paper. She signs a piece of paper where the government her and the government is responsible for the kid. And then you're free to go. It's really already like that? Hell no, you're always obligated. Because you should not be, as a man, you should not be obligated to pay a chick for 18 to 21 years for a casual sex session. That shit is a fucked up ass logic. It's a fucked up scenario. It's horrible. That's what I'm saying. If they could do it without your say, yeah, you should be able to leave without the say. Because it's a one-sided decision. It's a one-sided decision. So you're gonna tell me some of my juice is slipping on you on accident. You're gonna tell me you're gonna have it and I'm gonna pay? Okay, well, what about me? What about my free will? What type of free will do men have? Like, it's unethical. And a lot of chicks be using kids as weapons. I've had
unethical is having sex and literally having a kid by accident or whatever. Like, bro, unethical is literally having a kid and you're not taking care of it just because it was supposedly be a fucking accident for you.
Plenty of homies with kids and their lives are miserable because chicks use kids as weapons. How much nut does it take? Probably a microscopic amount.
So as you have seen, it is extremely heinous, his train of thought in relation to having a child. At this point, you really have to be more introspective about this. These aren't speculative rants. If you are a fan of Dale and you watch him go on these rants on stream, these racist rants, homophobic, transphobic, these hateful rants over and over and over again, and you think to yourself, it's all a character. He's doing this for a laugh. he doesn't mean any of this.
That's bullshit. He's right about that.
Because everything he said about not wanting a child, and more specifically a daughter, is all part of the life that he has been living. Dale wears his heart on his sleeve. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anytime he is upset about something, he will speak about it at length. If he doesn't get invited to an FGC event, he speaks about it because it bothers him. If he isn't nominated for an award he feels like he should be, he speaks about it because it bothers him. If a troll made a video about a topic that specifically drew more ire, he speaks about it because it bothers him. There is no nuance with Dale. When he is speaking about something, it is bothering him.
He's right about that.
And typically, it is because there is validity to whatever he is speaking about.
The thing that kills me, it's like the thing that literally kills me. It's like throughout the years, this motherfucker has talked shit about having daughters, and the guy has one. It's like, how the fuck can you hold that type of hatred, knowing that you got a daughter out there, bro?
If trolls discovered some new information about him, or found some flaws in his logic, or are just having a laugh, he's going to speak about it because it bothers him. Remember when I first made my troll videos calling Dale a simp? He went on an hour-long rant about it. A person who is truly unbothered does not do that. They simply ignore it. Isn't lying.
Jay, that's facts. Let me pin that shit, bro. That's 100% facts.
Dale isn't playing a character.
That's selfish as
He's
hell.
honest about his hatred, not for a hypothetical daughter, a real life child. And we all might have thought that this could have been a recent event. No, this child is 10 years of age. This child has the cognitive intelligence to be able to understand the nature of her father's rants about her existence. You saw him say, if this child reached out to him in the future, he would potentially harm them for seeking a relationship with them. He would bring a weapon to the door to talk to this child. He is not a man. He is an insect, an insignificant peon who is repeating.
I think this dude is worse than an insect, bro. At least an insect has functions. They're doing something. This guy's just fucking useless. Honestly, he's like a fucking parasite. I wouldn't call him an insect. I would literally call him a fucking parasite, or like not even a roach, just a parasite, bro.
The sins of his father. Of course, now he wants to justify the fact that his father, James, abandoned him and his sister and his brother and his mother when they were small because he went ahead and did the exact same thing. In the past, he would rant and say that his father did not take advantage of the opportunity that he was born with all of these superior genetics and could have been something more than he is now. But he turns around and does the same thing. He's no better than the man he hates. He understands the struggle that his mother went through raising 3 children as a single mother in the 80s and 90s. And even with that knowledge, he doesn't care. He chose to abandon his child and let this little girl and her mother go through the exact.
But it won't matter though, because motherfuckers are still gonna think that he's based, or whatever the hell you guys call that shit. That's the sad part about it. They'll think this shit cool as hell. Like, oh, bro, he left his he doesn't talk to his daughter. Oh, that's what's up. You know, he's cool.
Exact same turmoil that he did. Just to look at a few of the
Yo, Raptors in Dale's chat.
single
Yo, look at this motherfucker in Dale's chat. He's gonna get flagged, man. I mean, he's gonna get banned. look at the Twitch chat, bro. he's not gonna stay there for long because you know they'll be monitored, be having mods on his chat and shit like that.
Households and how much they can negatively impact a child. 60%
Yo, big ups to you, bro.
of children below the poverty line live in homes with a single mother. If you have a single mother, you are far more likely to get addicted to drugs. If you were raised by a single mother, you are far more likely to get incarcerated at some point during your lifetime, which Dale is very familiar with. The entire story is incredibly sad. This child is 10 years old now. Shortly after this child's birth, in 2014, Dale began grooming his 17-year-old girlfriend, Alana, when he was 29 years old, and also started a feud with Viscant, which led to a money match. While most people will be concerned with how they're going to alter their life to provide for the new life that they brought into this world, Dale was more concerned with how he was going to groom a minor and start random Street Fighter beefs. All in all, Dale is submitting himself to the Streisand effect now in an attempt to obscure this information by locking the replies to his Twitter and putting certain words on his block list so that people cannot comment them in his Twitch chat. He is inadvertently confirming that all of this information that leaked is accurate. An innocent person would not do this. They would laugh it off and ignore it. But he is scared. He is nervous, is terrified, because this has been his best kept secret. Of all the things that we know for a fact about Dale, this was the most unexpected.
You guys know what I think about chicks that like to trap niggas and use niggas for a bag? I think that it's a very one-sided situation. And I think that it's very unethical that if a woman gets pregnant, you're obligated out of casual sex to provide for something you clearly will have no emotional connection with. When a kid is born out of sex, out of recreational sex, it will never be.
Hold on, that's a 9-month cloak. It just shows that even his biggest fans don't fuck with him. I've been knew that, man.
A fully loving relationship with you and that child. That's probably why, when you think about it, that's probably why if there's niggas in here that our fathers weren't there, we have to take it into accountability that clearly our fathers were just using our moms for pussy. Because let's think about it. If that wasn't the case, why the wouldn't they have been happy to be around? Because what happened was they were fucking our moms got pregnant, they didn't feel like having a kid, they were just fucking for fun, for cream, for wet, for squirt. We were a product of that. And then our moms were like, well, I'm pregnant, now you gonna take care of it. And if you don't, I'm also putting you on child support. Matter of fact, if you do take care of it, I'm still putting you on child support because I need help. And then boom. I honestly can't expect, if that's really the story of my father, I really can't blame the nigga for not being around. I'm gonna have this conversation with him too. I'm gonna ask him like, so let me ask you a question.
Man, what's good, bro?
I'm gonna give you a full-blown pass right now on any and everything. But let's be honest here. I'm a grown man, right? When you literally found out that my mom was pregnant, were you ready to be a father? If you'd be like, well, I mean, you know, clearly, you know, things happen. I wasn't ready for that in my life. And you know, no, I wasn't ready. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Everything moving forward, I'll give you a pass. Wait, what do you mean you give me a pass? I'm saying I give you a pass because I understand that I was a product of recreational sex. I wasn't bred out of love. So I forgive you for not actually being there. That would only make sense. If you...
It's crazy that he's saying that because he has gone on rants talking about how bad his dad was. How his dad wasn't there for him. This guy doesn't think before he says shit, bro. He really doesn't think before he says anything.
My mom, right? and you weren't ready to be a father, yet my mom had me anyway. Thank you for life. But she had me anyway, and you weren't ready. I can understand why you weren't there. Just because a nigga is forced to be a father doesn't mean they have to enjoy being a father. So I would literally give my dad a pass for that. Guys, rude awakening. If our fathers weren't there, they most likely were just fucking our mom for sex. Let's keep it 100% factual. They most likely did not love our moms, did not want to have a child with them, did not want to be locked in and tied. They literally just used it for sex, and it's fine. We got life, we're breathing, we're in chat, we're thriving. We're here by a 1 in a quadrillion chance. If you admit that you fucked my mother for recreational sex and you weren't ready to be a father, you didn't want to be a father, I can give you a pass. I honestly think that if a man and a woman do not conceive a child out of love, the kid will always suffer.
However, this is another reason why protected sex is always the best ... Sigh.
That's just what I think. I feel like forcing fatherhood on a man that wants no ties with you is cruel as to the child. Because what's going to happen was, if they're a real nigga too, I'm never going to fuck with you like that. I might pay for you and shit like that, but I'll never fuck with you. I will never consider you one of my authentic children like that. And if I do, based off genetics, I might just use you as a workhorse. And I mean use you as a workhorse, meaning like, okay, I'm gonna be hella militant with you, but it won't be no real love there because you're a
Use you as a workforce. That's crazy, bro.
product of recreational sex. So I'd be like, all right, look, here's the best that's gonna happen. Your mom happens to be 5'7". I'm 6'5". Let's do something with it. What do you mean? What the fuck you mean? What do I mean? Let's do something with it. You want to be a basic nigga in society, or you want to really try to get this bag? That's honestly how I would talk to a kid that wasn't bred out of love. I'm gonna speak to you like a science project, because really that's all you actually are. I didn't want to I don't give a fuck about your mom. I didn't like the bitch. I literally backshotted her for fun. You're a product of it. Listen, nigga, there'll never be that love type of bond, but I'm gonna give you that tough, gritty shit, and you're gonna be successful, guaranteed. Will you get hugs and tears and all that shit? No, but you could get daps. Boom, good job. Let's go to practice. Boom, militant. It's basically, you're gonna just basically have a hands-on militant father. I would never ever show a kid real love that I didn't agree to have through a bitch I actually gave a fuck about. That's honestly, that's how the fuck I would feel. If I didn't want to have a kid with this woman and she still had it anyway, okay, all right, bet. This is the way you want to do it? Phenomenal. Love will not be involved. You will be nothing but a science project to me. But science projects, I still got to do science.
Calling a kid a science project is come on, bro. Like, calling a kid a science project?
Science, right? I still got to go in there and fuck with things.
So you can just go through the action of creating human life and then just call it a science project. Like it's a thing, like it's not human, you know, like
things and make sure that my science project is good. But will there be love involved? Nah. But we could play science though. Since you're a science project, you're a product of casual sex. All right, bet. You need something? Cool. Excellent. What you need? Practice? All right, boom. Cool. All right. This X amount, boom. All right, bet. Boom. It won't ever be no, I mean, how's your day, son? Like, well, I'll never talk like that, but yeah, how was your day, son? Excellent. All right, cool. You having a female problem? Like, you're not getting.
It's crazy because, it's insane because, like, essentially, he was exactly that. He was a science project. So now, if he ever has a kid, or he has one already, he's basically reflecting that to his own kid also.
Getting any of that out of me.
That's some generational curse type shit, man.
My job is to make sure you grow up with values, all of that type of shit, but I'm not throwing in the love factor there. The love factor will be for kids that I actually wanted to fucking have, that I actually agreed to have. All that a woman is doing when she forcefully has kids by a man that clearly doesn't want to is you're creating a kid out of spite. How can you force a nigga to really want to love that child when they literally did not fucking agree to have it?
Good thing Winters is not here, because I know the minute that I say something generational curse and shit like that, this motherfucker would go crazy.
How hard is that to understand? If I didn't agree to have that child and I don't love you, I don't like you like that, it was casual sex, what would make you think that I could love something that comes out of you when I didn't love you
bro.
to begin with?
Also, what's good, man? How you
No,
doing?
absolutely not. I feel very bad for Fresh. I feel very bad for Fresh. He fucked a chick for fun from Miami. A chick with fake ass titties, most likely a fake fucking ass, right? For fun, she says she's pregnant. A little bit of his black sperm slipped in. She says that she's fucking pregnant. Records the nigga on the phone. He trying to fix the problem. I know some people like say, "Oh, teacher, what you mean fix the problem? That's life we talk about." All right, listen. He's trying to fix the problem. When I say fix the problem, it's the fact that there's no love involved with creating this kid. So Fresh will never actually love this child 100%. He might deal with the child, but Fresh will never love this kid unconditionally deep down inside because it was forced up on him. So how can a nigga love a child that was forced up on him and the chick recorded and doing spiteful shit at the same time? I feel very bad for Fresh, who is having casual, recreational Miami, nice, good, raw sex.
Fresh is another one, bro. I'm not even gonna talk on it, but
with a random Asian chick, boom, she got pregnant magically. I'm pretty sure Fresh probably didn't bust the full ejaculation in her, probably stole the last stroke. You know how some niggas steal the last stroke and a little bit of nut might slip and you get scared, hoping she gets her period? Like, damn, I think I might have snuck one last stroke in. Might have slipped some nut in her. Boom. Now she pregnant. Now Fresh has to deal with a woman he don't like. He has to deal with a woman who is literally having a child out of spite. He has to deal with a woman who is after his money. He has to deal with a woman he does not know like that. He has to deal with an IG bimbo that he does not know like that. And damn.
bro, if a motherfucker is doing that shit and getting involved with a girl that's materialistic like that, that's your fault. That's not the chick's fault, bro. It's literally your fault. That's why you can't be, bro, you can't be a cornball before success. You have to have some sort of street smarts or some sort of intellect before you make money. But the internet, it's literally given away to where motherfuckers don't need to know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we're supposed to be on the chick side though, right? Should have wore a condom. Nigga, you put a plastic piece of shit over your cock and tell me how much you enjoy it. The fuck, nigga, I'm trying to feel creams, juices, wetness, everything. There's nothing intense about banging a chick with a condom. The fuck? You literally gotta psych yourself out to actually say you enjoy sex with a motherfucking condom.
And not only that, you know, it's so funny because a chick would make it obvious what her intentions are if she's talking to you. Like, she'll make that shit obvious. You can, I don't even want to get into this rant, man, but you guys know what I want to say.
With a condom, it just feels just like right here, just with my dick sitting in my pants. Did I see the video of Destiny pressing her? No. Because I'm doing my own analogy of this shit. I don't.
So the dude essentially is saying, fuck using a condom. Look, he wants to have sex without a condom, and if the girl gets pregnant, it's not his fault. He doesn't want to pay for it. I don't think there's anything more irresponsible that you can be, that you can say that can top that shit. Oh, essentially the motherfucker just wants to have sex, no condom, fuck multiple girls. If they get pregnant, that's on them. Oh man, bro. Holy fuck.
I agree with this situation. I will never be on a woman's side who forcefully has a child by a man that clearly does not want it, because what you're doing is you're making it hard on the child. Anybody in here that grew up without a fucking father, we should understand this more than anybody.
Saddest part is all this is on the internet forever.
Oh, if you don't want to get pregnant, bro, and you want to be guaranteed you're not going to get pregnant and shit like that, just do oral, bro. Like, what's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
The kid will know that they were a misclick eventually. Condoms are one thing, but you gotta know she's on BC and trust her.
Exactly, but you can't really trust when you're rich and famous, right? When you're rich or popularly known, bro, a chick's ultimately gonna be looking, like, let's be real here. Most women in life are looking for the easy way out. They're like, a lot of women only got a few options in life when it comes to professions. Fuck a rich nigga, get pregnant, get child support, or do the medical field. Because let's be real, most chicks don't want to get a law degree and all that type of shit. Let's be real. That's why you see a bunch of chicks wearing scrubs all the time. Because they're like, damn, like, I don't really know what else I could do besides, like, be a nurse or work in the medical field.
I don't know, Dale. I think you're talking about yourself also, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, chicks be fake swallowing? That's crazy. Yo, that's insane, man. I don't want to get in detail, bro, but you trying to tell me that there's girls that would have it in their mouth, save it, and then do some shit with their... That's crazy, bro. Oh my God, that's conniving.
Or I could just...
That's fucking insane, bro. That's nasty.
I've met more nurses than anything. I only met like 2 chicks that had law degrees, and they were both Indian chicks. Bro, nobody... And the key words, they were Indian. We talking about this type. For the most part, that's really a chick's only occupations. Get by a nigga with a bag, lock the nigga in for child support, or marry a rich nigga with a bag, or do medical. We talk about regular chicks. Oh yeah, I forgot. Or do like some sort of like sexual shit or something, you know, typical shit. All right, let's look at some of the text messages. This is how you know this shit is foul, because he was talking to the bitch on WhatsApp. You know this is WhatsApp, right? This is not an iPhone. This is not a Droid. This is WhatsApp, all right? WhatsApp. I don't know if this woman is from well, she's clearly not from the USA with an accent like that. Clearly not from the US of A. I don't know if this chick lives in the US or if she just somebody, if she's just, oh, she's Chinese.
Essentially, if you was to remove all the platforms this motherfucker's on, I think I'd honestly think he'll kill himself, man. If you was to remove his Twitch, his Kick, and all that shit, I low key think that he would just blow his brains out, bro.
So, did he go over there to China and fuck, or like how's this going on? Did he go to China and fuck, or is she just one of those Miami exchange fucks? So she came to Miami, boom, she flies out to Dubai and a bunch of other places, and she's an escort. So Fresh had to be the unlucky nigga to fuck. Let me tell you the upside about Fresh fucking this Asian chick and getting her pregnant, if it's his child. There's a 50% chance it's not his child. Let me tell you the upside to Fresh actually getting this woman pregnant. Are you ready? There's one upside. Everybody knows the crispy niggas make the best mixed children. I know that firsthand. The crispy niggas, you dark skinned niggas, you make the best mixed children when you fuck with a chick that's not black. I promise you, the kids look like some hybrid shit that come off from a different dimension. My homie was...
He full unclaimed her. They were together and she met his parents.
Oh, she met his parents? Well, he probably moved in capital S-y. But I had a homie that was crispity, crunchity, blue black. This nigga had kids with a Becky. Bro, them kids look like straight up hybrids. They have fucking like sandy, like dark, dirty blonde hair, but nigga hair at the same time. They had light brown eyes. They had like golden caramel skin. I'm like, damn, these kids aliens. Like, that, I guess it's the upside. Like, nigga got two good looking kids out of it. You know, he had 2 beautiful children, but boy, did the woman make his life a living fucking hell. Oh my God. Every time I'd ask him, I'm like, yo, you ever, when's the last time you talked to such and such about your kids? He'd be like, yeah, my nigga, she not letting me see him. She moved to Vegas. She not letting me see him. Like, I ain't seen my kids in like 6 years. And a lot of these chicks, they like to use kids as a weapon too. My thing is this, if you're a chick that had a kid out of wedlock with a guy off casual sex, why not instead of this being a dirty situation, why not let's work together, do this thing as an adult. Let's not involve courts. Let's not be dirty about the situation. Why weaponize the child to the point where now I'm going to hate the kid? Because put it like this, if I'm Fresh, right? As soon as you get the courts involved, I don't give a fuck about the child at all. As soon as you fucking involve the courts, I don't give 2 fucks about the child. It's nothing but an expense to me after that. Now, if we could find out a way to not even contractually, but if we could come out with a verbal contractual way to deal with things where we don't involve the law, cool. But if you literally involve the courts at all with the kid, I don't give 2 fucks about that child. It is nothing but a bill and an expense to me. That's it. You keep the thing. Because if I'm paying for something, why the fuck do I need to be around in the first place?
Tells you right there everything.
If you put shit in document courts, oh, I'll pay, but I don't want shit to do with the fucking seed. Because you chose option B instead of option A. Option A, we could have done the little co-parenting shit. You could have still got a bag off me. Shit could have been cool. I'd have been like, I got to pay for this thing, but all right, at least we ain't out in the court.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta pay for this thing, bro. This man really said I gotta pay for this thing. He really said that shit. Let me go replay that.
Off me, shit could have been cool. I'd have been like, I got to pay for this thing, but
Yo, bro. To be able to say that shit about your own kid, man. I gotta pay for this thing.
But all right, at least we ain't out in the courts with this shit. Soon as you involve the courts, that shit ain't nothing but an extra. That kid turns into a car note. That kid is a BMW, bro. As soon as you involve the courts,
But now he's comparing the kid to a BMW. So he said it. So he said he called the kid a thing, and now he's comparing it to a fucking car.
I'm paying that nigga. That's a whip. That's not even a child to me anymore, nigga. That's a fucking car that I drive, nigga. That's what that shit morphs into. Let's check out some
And people will still fuck with him regardless of him saying that shit.
of these text messages. Would I punish the kid for what my baby mama does? If I had a baby's mother to put me in the courts, the kid's no longer mine. It belongs to the state because the state's involved. So now that just becomes a bill towards me. I want no quarrels with that child. When you become grown, don't come speak to me, because if you become grown and speak to me, I will literally say you were nothing but a product of sex. I tried to talk to your mom about the court shit. She put me into the courts. When the courts were involved, when the government was involved, I'd said, you know what? I want no parts of that child. I paid a bill for you. Your child support has been paid. Have a good luck in life. Your mom chose option B instead of option A. Option A was I be involved. I still give her a bag. And I teach you family values, teach you good things on a militant standpoint. She chose option B, said, I'm going to get the courts involved. So I said, fuck you. That's why you never seen me. So don't come over here crying, talking about, I never knew my pa. First off, let me get something straight. Biologically, I'm your dad. Outside of that, I am not your father. See, a father is present through love based off of a love kid, a love child. I am not your fucking father. Biologically, I did help create you. But outside of that, I want no parts. I paid for you, though. You were a bill for 18 years, so I had to pay a car note for 18 years. Outside of that, have a good mother.
Also, this is before the leak, so for him to go on a rant for 1 hour, a very specific rant on this, at the same day that I think he found out about the child support, that shit is basically confirmation. That's essentially confirmation that daughter is basically his.
Whatever the fuck your mom taught you, good luck. Because what your mom did was she robbed you of learning good shit because she was nothing but a backshot queen. She robbed you of learning good shit.
So now backshot queen.
And said, fuck it, I'm gonna get the courts involved. So why don't you go talk to the government about how you learn values and talk to your fucking dumbass mom that was a backshot queen. I wanted no parts of her.
Hold on, Dale is doing privacy complaints on people uploading daughter shit. What exactly? What are you talking about the daughter shit? Like motherfuckers posting pictures of the daughter or some shit like that? Let me know, bro.
She chose option B. I said, let's get option A. She chose option B. You were nothing but a bill. Boom. Cars paid. Have a good life. What do you mean cars paid? You were nothing but a vehicle. Kid could take a lesson. Get it from the mom. Once you get the courts involved, learn all that shit from your fucking mom. That's my take on it. If you want to get the court, my thing is this, guys. So let's just say you're fucking a bitch for fun. You don't really like her. You're just having casual sex, right? She gets pregnant, has the kid. You wasn't ready for it, but a woman's gonna do what she wants to do. It's a woman's body. She's gonna do what she does. She has the kid, says, I'm gonna put you on child support and I want you to take care of it. How is that ethical? You wanna get the courts involved, rob me of my bag.
Tatsu, how do you know that? Tatsu, how do you know that shit? Like, are you in his Discord or some shit?
To visit the kid and take care of it? Nah. What fair is that to the man? How fair is that? So you want to get the courts involved where they robbing me for money? I watched this shit happen to a couple of my homies.
Hold up. Did you catch that? Let's rewind this for a second. First, watch the way he puts his hand to his own chest here. And when he says, what about, it sounds like he was about to say, what about me? But he catches.
Yo, that's some correct body language.
Let's rewind this for a second. First, watch the way he puts his hand to his own chest here. And when he says, what about, it sounds like he was about to say, what about me? But he catches himself and says, what fair is that to the man?
What fair?
Damn, he was about to say, what about me, bro? He was literally about to say that shit, man.
Is that
Holy
to the man?
Fuck.
Then immediately after he says,
so you want to get the courts involved where they robbing me for money? I watched this shit happen to a couple of my homies.
But again, he catches himself and realizes he just went too far and referred to himself in the first person. So he pulls out the old asking for a friend excuse and says, I've watched this shit happen to a couple of my homies. Sure, Dale, your homies. I've chosen to conclude on this clip not just because it really hammers the point home that this isn't some story he's made up, but because of a more important reason. One that speaks to the true character of Dale Wilson. In this last clip you just saw, he's making it clear that he didn't have any issue with her having the kid against his wishes. In fact, he literally says, it's her body, and she can do whatever she wants to. In addition to that, he states multiple times that she could have still made a bag off me, meaning he wasn't against helping support the child financially. He says he was willing to both pay for it and help raise it, so long as they have a verbal agreement that doesn't involve the court system. His only issue with this situation is that she involved the courts. This is so critically important because once I posted the preview for this video, Dale's cuck defenders and wannabe red pill followers were quick to defend him on the basis of men's rights, saying it's not fair that a woman can just decide to have the kid and then force you to pay child support. Whether you agree that's unfair or not is irrelevant, because that's not actually.
You've made the fucking decision when you chose to have sex. When you're choosing to have sex with somebody, you're doing something that's essentially fucking symbolic. And if you got a kid behind that shit, well, that's not your fucking fault, bro.
Actually what he's complaining about.
Motherfuckers are willing to do the most intimate thing that you can do on this planet to a female, but not accept the responsibilities of doing that intimate thing.
I know it may be confusing because at times he resorts to just complaining about the money, and this may just be a case of him lying and saying it's about something else because it looks better than saying it's just about money. But let's take him at his word, because he has said multiple times he didn't have any issue with supporting the child financially. Not only that, but you just heard him say she wanted his help raising the child. So all you MRAs thinking she was trying to keep the child away from him, you can just toss that out the window right now. According to him, the reason why he didn't want anything to do with the kid is because she took him to court. At this point, you may be wondering, why would she need to do that if he was willing to pay? Well, like I said, this could all just be a lie, but the answer may lie in the information contained in the credit report, in addition to what we know about the child. The child in question is 10 years old, so they weren't just born recently, but the child support collection on his credit report and the inquiry from the law firm that specializes in judgment enforcement are more recent, from August 2023. So maybe they did have a verbal agreement like the one he keeps referring to, and he had been paying her directly. So what happened? Obviously we can't know exactly what took place, but come on. Let's not just feign ignorance like some people. Let's use our brains and call a fucking spade a spade. If he was really willing to support the child like he says, why would she need to take him to court in 2023, 9 years after the kid was born? The thing is, though, his story doesn't make sense. He says that it was her involving the court that made him not want to have anything to do with the child, even though the court just mandates he do the thing he said he was willing to do in the first place.
That's true what he's
so
saying.
I don't get all his resentment if he was really willing to do it. It's not like the end result is any different. The net effect is the same. But I digress. Remember, the child is 10 years old now, and according to all the leaked paperwork, she didn't get the courts involved until 2023. So if the issue was really her taking him to court, where was his involvement with the child from 2014 to 2023? That's 9 years where there was no court order, but there's no indication that he was involved in her life at all during that period. It is possible he was, and we just don't know it. But it doesn't seem like that's the case from the leaked documents, which literally itemize how much time each parent spends with the child. I also find it pretty hard to believe that if he had been helping raise them over all those years, spending time and building a relationship with them for almost a decade, that he would just cease all contact solely because she got a court order that ensures he pays child support. I may be harping on this, but he says he was willing to pay, right? So why does it matter so much that she took him to court? All that does is allow her to seize his money if he doesn't pay. So if he was paying willingly, it makes no difference. Like I said, I suspect he's either lying or he's leaving out the part of the story where he stopped paying, which was the catalyst for her to take him to court in the first place. These law firms that deal in judgment enforcements can't do anything without a judgment to enforce. They can't just walk into a bank and garnish someone's income because they're lawyers. You have to go to court first. This means it's very likely she never wanted to go to court. It was just a necessary step she had to take to make him pay, which is supported by the fact that she didn't do it in 2014 when the child was born. It didn't happen until 2023. So that's the story. I can't imagine that anyone would still believe this guy in the face of mountains of evidence. It honestly sickens me that he can't ever just face the truth. Dale is truly one of the most deceptive, dishonest humans I've ever seen. No hyperbole. And it's not like that's his only personality flaw. This man has said thousands of things that show what a sick, demented, twisted mind he has. But I don't think anything demonstrates that more than these cruel, heartless comments about an illegitimate child that we
To just be able to call your own child a thing is something that is literally a reflection of yourself. If you're calling your own seed a thing, a product of recreational sex, yeah.
now know weren't hypothetical. Even prior to the credit report leak, I would hear these comments and think, what kind of sick fuck would ever think such a thing? Let alone say it out loud in public, and it gets even worse because wasn't just saying it, he's actually bragging. Like you can tell if you watch these clips, he thinks he looks so cool and so aloof that he could treat his own offspring like that. The man is literally getting high off his own farts when he acts out that stupid fantasy of his child showing up at his door and him responding with a gun, even though we all know he's a coward that would never do such a thing. If this ever happened, he would probably do what he always does and deny he is Dale Wilson, like he did when the process server showed up to serve him the papers. Absolute coward shit. Now, it's one thing to actually think these deplorable things. It's another thing to actually say them out loud. But when you actually know there's a living, breathing child out there, and that the child is old enough to go online and hear these things for themselves, I have to wonder what kind of person would do such a thing. But I honestly think he is so cruel and insensitive, so spiteful and immature, and he holds so much resentment for the child's mother, that he's actually hoping they hear it as a way to enact some sick revenge on her for committing the sin of taking him to court. As we have seen over the past few days, when Dale is complaining about something or criticizing someone, he's usually projecting his own insecurities outward, and you may remember how many times he mentioned weaponizing the child. Well, dare I say that is exactly what he is trying to do here. The things we criticize others for are usually the things we hate about ourselves.
I remember the exact moment I found that weird William Zeus just shit on his credit and wondered what it was. Turned out to be the final detail to put it all together.
There is a brilliant quote often attributed to Maya Angelou, and I'm going to play that quote for you here.
The other most important lesson, well, it's hard for me to number them, but let's say one of the most important lessons I ever learned from you, and I still am, you know, I think I know the lesson, and then I'll walk into a situation and think that's that same lesson, and that is when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, absolutely. A person says to you, I'm selfish, or I'm mean, or I am unkind.
Or I'm crazy.
Or believe them. They know themselves much better than you do.
Mm-hmm.
When people show you who they are, believe them. Dale oftentimes engages in doublespeak. He will try to mitigate his culpability in relation to a lot of things by saying half-truths. He will lie by omission. So what did he say after all this information leaked? What was his response to all of this? This was his response.
I'm gonna say this shit one time and one time only. I am nobody's father. Best believe that shit. I got 2 cats, if you want to count that. That's cool. I'm nobody's father. I promise you that.
He specifically used the word father. And why is that relevant? That's relevant because of this clip from earlier in the video.
She chose option B, said, I'm gonna get the courts involved, so I said, fuck you. That's why you never seen me. So don't come over here crying, talking about, I never knew my pop. Like, Dad, first off, let me get something straight. Biologically, I'm your dad. Outside of that, I am not your father. See, a father is present through love based off of a love kid, a love child. I am not your fucking father. Biologically, I did help create you. But outside of that, I want no parts. I paid for you, though. You were a bill for 18 years, so I had to pay a car note for 18 years. Outside of that, have a good motherfucking life.
Dale sees himself as a biological dad because he can't ignore the science, but because he is such a steaming, insect-filled, pock-ridden piece of shit. He doesn't see himself as a father because he doesn't love, care for, or want anything to do with the child he had a role in bringing into this world. And I agree with him. He isn't a father. The child has a loving mother that thankfully takes great care of her. And it almost feels like the child is even more blessed for having not known Dale and not knowing anything about the other half that brought her into this world.
Damn, bro. Nothing to be said, man. Everything has already been said. Motherfuckers wanted me to react to this shit, so I was like, fuck it. I'll go live for like an hour and a half. Alright, yo, I'm gonna bounce the fuck off, man. My thoughts on this shit, hey, this guy's a piece of shit, bro. Complete piece of shit. I don't think there's ever gonna be anything in his life that's gonna change the way this motherfucker is. Wild ass stuff, man.